Today we're going over our launch angle chart on the HitTrax. So any of you that have access to a HitTrax, whether you're coming in here to Baseball Rebellion or you're at another facility somewhere across the country, you're gonna have access to a chart that looks exactly like this. So what this shows us is how our exit velocity and our launch angle correlate to our velocities and how often that we get there. So up here we have the percentage of times that you work at each launch angle. So we're gonna go over today a bad launch angle chart and what I would consider a good launch angle chart. All right, so as you can see here, the peak is way back here over at the -15 mark. So when we start working our maxes at -15 that means that this hitter is hitting his hardest hits directly into the ground. And then when we get over here to 20 degrees right here, this hitter has dropped all the way to 84 miles an hour, whereas his max is almost 100 at 99 right here at the -15. So when we are not hitting the ball hard, when we're hitting the ball in the air, especially right here when we're hitting line drives, that means our bat path is starting to get a little bit steep into the zone. And as we start working out in front, those hands start dropping. So rather than connecting and squaring the ball up out here, we start kind of clipping the ball. All right, so now we are going to transfer to a good launch angle chart. Here we have hitter number 2, and as you can see, this line stays very consistent as we start to go higher, and then once we start missing balls around the 40-degree mark and start kind of skying them, hitting them a little bit too high, the velocity is going to start dropping back down. So this hitter has a lot more room for error. When he's hitting the ball higher, he's carrying that velocity all the way out, and that max is at the 22-degree mark. And that's a perfect line drive in the gap. That is what we are looking for. When we talk about launch angle, it isn't about hitting the ball as high as possible every single time. It is about optimizing our bat path to match the launch angles that we want, which are from the 10 to 30-degree mark, because now we're working to low line drives and elevated line drives at our maxes, right? And what I talk about a lot is having our approach match our swings. Right, so if your approach is to elevate the baseball or even hit a line drive, but your max is like hitter number 1 and your max is over here at -15, well, when you're hitting the ball where you want to, we are not squaring the ball up. We're starting to clip the ball, and now we have to get outside of our approach, get way on top of the ball just to have some success and hit the ball hard. When we are looking at these launch angle charts, we want that tabletop to carry as far as possible. We want to have a lot of room for error, and we want to be able to elevate the baseball with velocity and beat some outfielders.